Welcome to the National Women's Fitness Academy podcast. We're here to talk about women's health, female hormones, body image, and all things health and fitness.
Hello, girls, and welcome back to another episode of the Women's Fitness Academy's podcast. I'm your host, Siggy, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on another podcast. Today, I'm joined by the lovely Kiyah. Kiyah Jones is an aspiring fitness coach, and her aim is to alter people's experience of life by achieving their fitness goals and getting them unstuck with negative body image and mindset. And we're all about that at the Academy. And she strives to educate and empower women to have a healthy educated and fun experience within their fitness journeys. Kiyah, babe, thank you for joining me.
All right, thank you so much.
I want to start off by, what does it mean for you to have a positive body image mindset?
Just to feel within yourself, to know that, you know, you're okay within yourself, and your mind and your body image is to just, you know, not care about what other people think of you, and to take that mindset away from just being, you know, stuck in your head about what other people think of you. You know, am I good enough? Do I look like her? I want to look like her. And just being okay with yourself and how you feel and how you look, and not changing for anyone else as well is really important, I would say.
You made such good points there, especially around the I'm not good enough piece, because I'm sure that's something that you can relate to. I know I can relate to a lot, where for so many years we thought we weren't good enough or smart enough or pretty enough for to be accepted by people. What are some ways that helped you move, you know, past those negative thoughts?
I just thought, you know, about my child self and how she would feel if I was saying those negative things. And, you know, also other people, everyone is going through it. If, you know, someone might feel really good as well, like at the start of the day, and then other days they might feel, or times of days they might feel completely different. And it's all about that, you know, voice in your head, and also what expectations of society put on you. And in social media, it's all out there. It's crazy. But to just, you know, take a step back and just sit within yourself and say, you know what, I'm alive right now. I can walk, I can, you know, speak, I can hear. You know, you've got, you know, so many, you know, amazing privileges that maybe some other people won't have, and to be grateful for that as well is really, like, amazing. So there's so many things to be happy for. And just, even another thing that I thought as well is, why would I, you know, want to feel this way and stay home when I could be having the time of my life doing something and not worrying about that? You just look at those two different things and think, you know what, I'm going to just live my life and have an amazing time, and don't give a fuck what other people think, because that's just limiting yourself and what you're capable of, and how much fun you could have if you didn't have those beliefs as well.
It's so important to be able to navigate what comes up in our mind, because sometimes we're our worst critics, and we hold ourselves back from actually putting ourselves out there or making a change in life. And I can speak about this from experience as well, because so many years I was this negative Nelly, and I would always pull myself down. I wouldn't pull myself out there, make the change, and literally like stirring in my own shit. And you're nodding your head right now, because I know you can relate to this. Was there a particular point in your life where you're like, fuck, I need to make a change?
Well, there definitely was a time, just right before I started my fitness journey, actually, when I was in Thailand, and I was really ill, and I couldn't breathe properly, and I wasn't able to walk properly either. I had to be in a wheelchair. And then I got back to Australia, and I basically, it took me a year to fully recover, and I just felt so shit about myself. I felt weak because I felt like I wasn't capable to do anything. I felt dumb because I had brain fog from everything. And also my body image, another thing, I just felt, I was really skinny at the time. I lost a lot of weight. and I just felt super weak and just not confident in myself. And basically I just said, you know what, that's enough. After having, a lot of time in bed, not having any energy at all, I got up and started my fitness journey. I went to the gym for the first time, not knowing what the fuck I was doing, just following stuff online, but just putting myself out there to, feel better, look, healthier, but mainly just feel better and change my mindset, because I was stuck in a belief that I was weak, I wasn't capable of anything. And I was just, I just felt sorry for myself, and I didn't want to feel sorry for myself. I just wanted to, get my foot in the right direction and just enjoy life. So yeah, started that way.
What was the thing that actually helped you step out of, that discomfort of feeling negative about yourself?
I had people in my life tell me that they were really sad for me, and they said that, they just felt like, I was in my own, like I dug a hole, and I was just, it felt empty and looked empty, and I just had no thoughts, and I felt quite depressed. And it made me realize how bad it actually got. And then I just had a switch in my mind go off as well. After so much negative talk, I just had that switch saying, you know what, just turn your life around. Why not? Just start somewhere. So it was just like a little voice inside my head that just said, you know what, no, switch that mindset. Stop.
It's so interesting that you brought that up, because I can relate to the fact of people reaching out to you going like, hey, it seems like you're having a really hard time. I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but the people in my life at the time had to distance themselves from me due to my negativity and just the way I was living my life. And again, similar situation to yourself. It was that point where I was like, wow, I'm actually pushing everyone away from me instead of welcoming them inside my life. So it's just like, do I want to continuously feeling like shit, diving into a deeper hole, or making the change? And I'm sure you're very aware of this. The change is uncomfortable.
Yeah, big time.
What is something that made you feel really uncomfortable when you started that change in your life?
A few things. Fear of judgment. Getting myself out there and not having an idea of, how to lift weights, and just looking online, and just, fear of judgment in the gym, but still pushing through that because I know I could get somewhere eventually. That was definitely a big one.
And fear of judgment is huge for any type of person, whether we're like starting at the gym or starting with a new coach or going on a new diet, like whatever it is, we always have these thoughts in the back of our head going, what if it goes wrong? What if it doesn't work? Did you encounter those thoughts?
Yeah, fear of failure, 100%. I just thought, what if it doesn't work? What if I don't see results? What if I'm still going to be weak and not have any energy? I felt like it was just going on forever. It was a whole year until I felt a change. And then I just slowly started doing more research and started getting into consistency in a program, and I felt so much better. And if you look at the bigger picture, from 1 year to 3 years, like you can change so much if you set your mind to it and put in the work.
100%. And also having people that uplift you and have the similar goals to you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
What was because I know we've spoken about you shifting your mindset and you stepping into the gym. The people around your life at that time, were they supportive for you to go into fitness, or did it feel quite lonely at the start?
I would say a bit of both. I definitely have a very supportive family. I didn't get a lot of support from other people though. I thought, they didn't think that I was, that weak, or, I just actually couldn't complete year 12 because I would faint in class, and I just had really bad brain fog. So I had a bit of doubt from some people because they thought, did she really go through that? had rumors made up about me and, being in Thailand, because like the first few days, I posted photos of the trip and then posted those, along the time I was in a hospital bed. So all of that happening, that's why I felt a bit judged, but, I just still pushed through. I had great support from my family, especially my mum. So she's a leadership and mindset coach herself, so she always motivates me. But yeah, I had a lot of support through that, and that's what also helped me push through.
It's so important to have those good people in our lives, because I know I encounter a lot of people who don't have that and who do find it quite challenging and, more difficult for them to make the change because they don't have that ongoing support going, hey, you can do this, and like,
Yeah.
fuck whatever anyone else says.
Yeah. Mm.
Speaking of good support, recently you attended the National Women's Fitness Academy's Bali education. And for those who haven't been yet, what would you say were some of the highlights of that trip for you?
I just think getting out there and experiencing, in this with like-minded women is just so amazing. If you, want to get off your laptop screen, and if you're studying at the moment, like I was home on my laptop. I'm just, I wanted to get out there in the world and actually be face to face and do something. And it was so amazing for that. It just felt so freeing. And, I made so many great friendships. I learned so much, and it was such a fun experience as well. I did not know what to expect when I went in there, and I came back with like the best time of my life. So yeah, it was awesome.
You went there solely or with friends?
I went there on my own. I knew a girl that came to the trip as well. So we hang out a lot, and I made some more friends along the way as well.
And it just shows you the amazing way of meeting people. Like you said, too often we get stuck on our laptops and we get in our little own bubble. But then when we put ourselves out there and notice, oh, there's more people out there that are wanting to do the same thing as me, and you incorporate that too. You mentioned that you learned a lot about yourself on that trip. What are some of the things that you learned?
I just thought, establishing your why, I thought it was really, interesting to just dive into how much online coaching and face-to-face coaching is about your personality and bringing yourself to the table and showing up as, the best version of yourself, and, having a purpose, and not just, training them for training's sake, but to just, have all of that, those qualities. And yeah, just so much, it was such a great experience, I would say. I just loved it. Yeah.
With finding your why, because this is something that's very big for everyone, whether you're a business owner or someone, working towards your health and fitness goals. What was I would say, like, what helped you find your why during that trip?
I kind of related to my journey and, the things that I experienced in the fitness industry. And I thought, what are other girls experiencing, and, what can I bring to the table? And I also, if you think about your personality and how you present yourself in the world to your friends, to your family, and then you also think about your journey and other people's journey, and you can kind of combine them and just think, what can I put to the bring to the table? And, what difference can I make, and why that is.
That's so beautiful. Is that something that you've been working on lately, or is this like a new perspective that you've taken on?
It's pretty new. I just realized it at Women's Fitness Academy, which was really awesome, because I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool. And I started putting ideas together, and now I'm refining it. And yeah, it's very exciting.
It's so good. It's always really nice to be able to refine those ideas and notice the actual passion that we have towards, our business, our brand, ourselves. What would you say have you noticed any changes in your why that you're wanting to pivot?
I think it's pretty much the same. I'm kind of adding things in there, and, just looking at different perspectives, and yeah, just playing around with different ideas, I guess.
If someone was struggling with finding their why or really understanding their purpose within the fitness and health industry, what's one thing that you would think would be helpful for them?
I would say what really helped me and is just such a great idea is brainstorm. Just get a massive sheet of paper and do brainstorm in the middle of your why, and then just, dot point, different ideas and just really feel from your heart as well. And then when you get all of those ideas together, you can kind of start creating a vision statement as well, which is what I learned in the Women's Fitness Academy. Women's Fitness Academy. What is your vision? And why is that? And then you can just play with ideas. But brainstorming is such an amazing thing to start off with.
I love the fact that you mentioned brainstorming by dumping all the thoughts in our heads on a piece of paper. You also mentioned that you bring it from your heart as well. And too often we don't always think or feel what's happening inside of us, and we're too stuck in our head. What are some things that have helped you to, be more open in the feelings that come up for you?
Well, at the start, sometimes people struggle with when they're coming up with these things. They don't think about, from within themselves. They think from what would other people expect? What would other people do? What would other people think is awesome? It's just start with you and what you believe, your beliefs and your vision. So I think that really helps to just sit within yourself and think from your heart, and just get it all out, and just cut that, thought of what other people would like, and what other people are doing.
It's so true. And that's something that we covered at the Bali Education around limiting beliefs and self-comparison, having a better understanding of, it's always nice to get people's opinions about our ideas, but at the end of the day, it's our brand, it's our why. And if we're not following our passion, who are we doing it for?
Yeah.
So true. In terms of, because I know we're diving a little bit into like the mindset side of things right now, and you're very big on, listening to your own intuition, but also your thoughts and stuff. What are some things that, back when you first started your fitness and health industry, what are some things that limited you from pursuing certain goals?
I just thought to myself, the first one was you're weak. So I thought that because I had experienced so much time not being able to fulfill the things I wanted to do, I just thought that when I started my journey, am I really going to, make any progress? Because it took some time. It's a process. It doesn't take 1 week or a month. It takes consistency and time to really feel and see a difference. So that's definitely one thing, feeling weak. Fear of judgment and failure. Like I said before, I thought, what are people going to think? And, people judging me. I mean, I've had that all my life. Everyone goes through that. And, it's just a thing that you have to learn to deal with sometimes. So, but I got through it.
You sure did. And I also wanted to ask you, like, why did you have those thoughts of you telling yourself that you were weak? Like, what came up at that time where you had that limiting belief?
I just thought, that when I thought that I'm weak, I just thought very just small and incapable of achieving, my goals. And, I would compare myself on social media to other people that had these, amazing lives and were doing so much and traveling and had awesome, had an awesome mindset too, and just felt super strong. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to be like them. And why can't I be like that now? And I just, I put myself down a lot in that time, that first year when I was not well, because I thought, it was just taking too much time, and, it's a process. So, yeah.
The self-comparison piece is so big, especially in the fitness and health industry. And like, as you mentioned, when you first started, you came from a place where you felt quite negative about yourself. So it's no surprise where you kept on comparing yourself to other people who, you know, were traveling or quote unquote are doing really well. Because again, like we only see the surface level side of things.
Yeah.
We don't actually see the inside story.
Yeah.
But the stories that we tell in our heads, we're like, oh, they're successful, we're not. And this is what I love talking about around mindset, is the self-comparison. And you're very big on this too. It's just like, well, what success looks like for you is going to be completely different to what success looks like for a person.
Yeah, and you're on your own journey as well.
Would you say you still fall into that self-comparison here and there?
Sometimes, of course, I'm only human, so I do sometimes compare myself to people that, you know, are doing so much with their life, and sometimes I feel like I'm never doing enough, and so much already, and I'm trying my best, but sometimes I just think, you know, oh, I wish I could do this now, but no, it takes time. You're on a journey, so if you just stick with it, it's going to happen. You can manifest it as well. So yeah, I still go through those times 100%, and yeah, that's okay, but just learn to, you know, deal with it in a positive way and snap yourself out of it.
Definitely. And you know what? Thank you for being honest, because too often people will either put this mask on and be like, no, I don't compare myself. But we have to be real right now. We all go through those stages where we will see someone and think, as you mentioned, that we're not doing enough. Again, it's coming back to your why, your passion, and going, are you actually not doing enough, or are you just comparing yourself to someone who you think is doing more than you?
And also flipping that mindset as well has helped me. Instead of comparing, saying, oh, I wish I could do that now, or why can't I do that? Why can't I be that? Take that as inspiration. If you want that in your life, take that as inspiration and work out the steps to get there. You don't have to be all of that right now. You don't have to be the it girl right now. You can get there in time if you just take the time to instead of wanting that now, just take that as inspiration instead of comparing yourself.
And you sparked such a good thought in my head, because as you mentioned, like too often we're comparing the negative side with people, and too often people are wanting to be the it girl, as you mentioned. However, when they have that opportunity, most people don't take it because they're scared to do it. They're scared of what that would look like.
Yeah, scared of change as well is a big one.
Yes, change is very scary, and I honestly believe that a lot of people hold themselves back because they think they're either not worthy enough to make the change, or if they do make the change, they're going to leave something behind them that they're just not ready to let go of.
Yeah, true.
Was there a time for you where you made a change? Well, I know we have, because we've been speaking about mindset, but like, let's talk about a different scenario in your life where you knew you had to let go of something to make the change, but you were really quite scared to do that.
Yeah, I would say one of the first ones was completing high school, and I was really devastated that I couldn't complete because I was simply not able to. I had that option to, you know, redo the year of year 12 the next year, but I was still not well. And I thought I was going to be an artist, and I was really stuck on that mindset of I have to be this, I have to be perfect. And I worked so hard to get to this point. And then I fell in love with the fitness industry, and I thought, you know what, I want to be a personal trainer. And just letting go of those old things that I wanted to be. And that's completely okay. And I learned that that's okay, that people change and people grow. And if you have to let go of something, an old part of you, even if you worked super hard, even you spent a lot of money on it and a lot of time, it is okay, as long as you're, you know, following your heart and what you want to be now in this moment and what you strive to be. You can let go of those things that you loved back then, because you've changed, people grow, and that's not you anymore.
I need to know, what type of artist did you want to become?
I was obsessed with pretty much everything. So I was thinking of photography and also acrylic and fine line art I liked as well. Just pretty much everything. I loved it. So
This is so funny because you're literally talking about my younger self right now. This is so
Really?
wild. Yeah. So at high school, I was obsessed with graphic design, with art. I was an artist when I was younger, and then I became a photographer.
Yeah.
And then after becoming a photographer, I started my health and fitness journey. And that's when I wanted to make the change. I wanted to become a personal trainer and say goodbye to my old life.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a Pisces thing.
Maybe. That's crazy.
It's really funny how these
Yeah.
things, and I can relate to this so much right now by you saying
Mm,
of having to let go of that old identity and creating a new one.
yeah. Mm, mm. It's scary. It's definitely scary because it's
And
just, it's all about diving into the unknown as well.
yeah.
Once you feel like you're doing so well in this one thing and you jump to the next idea, and it's like it feels sometimes you start from scratch and you're like, shit, what am I doing? I'm taking a leap of faith here.
And you know what? Most of the time, people don't take that leap of faith because,
Mm,
again, it's what's holding them back. They
mm.
think, oh, I'm going to have to start all over again. It's just like, yeah, that's the beautiful thing about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? As a coach right now, you're using your artistic ways to create content.
Yeah. Yeah. There's still those parts of me there. Yeah.
And you know what? They're probably never going to go. They're probably going to
Mm,
stay there. And then eventually you're just going to thank yourself of making that change, but still
yeah.
being able to create that into your
Yeah.
branding.
Yeah, definitely.
So good. I love this so much. What would you say would be like your one, let's narrow it down to maybe like 1 to 3 tips for those who are wanting to take that leap of faith to make a change?
I would just, think about what you strive to be. Think about your core values is so important. What are your core values in your life? And, thinking about your purpose as well. What do you want to bring to the world and to the table? Um, is really cool too. So, I just thought, what's the change that I'd like to see in the world? And then you find, an industry or a path or something that you want to go on that relates to you and your hobbies as well. So, yeah, think of your vision and your why, what you strive to be, and then find something that you enjoy and kind of just put it all together. And you can, yeah, start from there. You can start from small and then build your way up. And it is okay to change as well. That's really important that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. That's how people grow. And it's okay to change your mind and to not be afraid of it because, it's baby steps.
Would you say there was a time where you failed, where you were a little bit harsher on yourself?
Yeah, 100%. I would put myself down if I couldn't achieve something in the gym, or there were some really simple things as well. Like I have like my right lung is scar tissue, half of my right lung, and I couldn't lift my arm above my head. I couldn't do simple tasks like hang washing out, and I would put myself down to say that I'm not good enough, and people are going to be annoyed by me because I can't help out and I can't do these things, and yeah.
How did you move past that? Because that's something that I'm sure a lot of people carry within
Mm.
themselves when they're not able to do simple tasks like either, carrying the grocery shopping, or if for those who have issues with their lungs, or I've worked with many women who have shoulder injuries and they just can't lift their arm over their head.
Yeah, but just be kind to yourself, and if you can't do it, then that's okay. If you can change, if you can change that, and you can work towards healing that, then just start there, and don't beat yourself up for what you can't do in this moment right now. Because yeah, you'll get there eventually, and if you can't, then that's okay, and just love yourself and put yourself first, and just don't beat yourself up about it because it's not worth it.
Mm, loving yourself. What does that
Mm.
look like for someone who isn't happy about themselves?
It's a tricky one because, it's easier said than done sometimes, but, just just talking to yourself really helps. Things like meditation, also moving your body really helps. Connecting to yourself in, every way that you can, looking after yourself and, feeding yourself good, nutritious food and moving your body and talking to your, mind is really, really powerful, and just telling yourself good thoughts. And instead of looking in the mirror and saying something negative about yourself, just force yourself to say something that you like about yourself. Find the things that you like about yourself and start there. And then just say positive affirmations to yourself. And also, once that shines through you, you can project it onto other people, and then they can project it back to you, which is really cool.
And that also brings us to the start of our conversation about how when we used to think negatively about us, we attracted negative into our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything's a mirror. So once we notice the changes within ourselves, and this is no woo-woo shit, like this is fucking reality. If we're constantly feeding ourselves negativity and stress and so forth, guess what's going to happen? We're going to create more of that in our lives.
Yeah.
What are the big plans for you for the rest of this year? I can't believe there's like 4 months to go. What the hell?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, like I said, I'm going to Europe, which is going to be exciting. Got that partnership with EHP Labs, which is awesome. Finally getting my foot in the door. And I should be completing my Cert 3 in Form Fitness at the end of the year or beginning of next year. So yeah, I'm just going to start my business, start my website and get rolling. So it's all the beginning for me. So yeah, pretty excited.
It's all happening, girl. It's all happening.
Yeah.
I love that. For those who want to connect with you, how can they find you?
Well, my Instagram is Kiyah Jones. It's a bit of a weird spelling, but you can find me there. So yeah, reach out to me on Instagram. I'm so happy to talk. I'd love to hear any questions as well. If anyone has for me, I'd love to help. I love helping people, and yeah, you can reach me there.
I love that. Well, girls, if that wasn't inspiring enough for you to start your health and fitness industry or fitness and health journey, I don't know what is. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, please make sure that you screenshot it, tag us at the Women's Fitness Academy, tag Kiyah, tag myself. And then till next time, let's start spreading a little bit more positivity onto ourselves.
100%.